Go the Cowboys!
Hey guys, Sean Media just want to do a big shout out to Rugby League Coffee Lounge. All the best this year, 2020.
Alright, oh yeah! Fuck!
Here we go. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Nick from Australia, and welcome to the final Sunday football review of the year. What a fantastic way to end the season. Obviously, both these games today were not great to watch. Sharks Raiders had, it was a good game for a long time of it, and then the Sharks ran away with it towards the end thanks to a very silly, unfortunate tackle from Sebastian Kris, which resulted in him being sent from the field. I want to welcome everyone here into the review. I hope everyone is doing well on this Sunday afternoon, Sunday night now, I should say. It is September 3rd, 2023, 6:23 p.m. And yes, I am well aware the finals draw is out. I have just seen it. It's going to be unbelievable, this final series. It's going to be incredible. Now, I don't know if I'm going to Broncos Storm on Friday night. At this stage, I would say it's a no, but things can change. I'm more likely to go to week 2 or week 3. If the Broncos lose on Melbourne, then there's a high chance that I'll be at the Broncos semi-final. If they win on Friday against Melbourne, then I'll probably be at the preliminary finals. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, Brisbane's only a 2-hour drive for me. So guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. I hope everyone's doing well. Hello to the chat. Hello to Harley, Jim the Chooks fan, Jason Raider. York is here. We've got Hosea in the chat. Hello. Field Plug, EA. Hello, everyone that's arriving. Hello, Tom Mitchell. Hope you're well, my friend. Good to talk to you before on Instagram, my man. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Mel. William Pearson. Hello to everyone that is tuning in. Welcome to the Sunday Football Review for the final time this year. Now, the reviews for the finals are very, very straightforward. Obviously, I'll be doing Friday night, Brisbane and Melbourne. I probably won't go, but it's not impossible. Saturdays will be straight after the match, and then obviously the other Saturday game, and then Sunday. So they're all going to be separate reviews, and they don't really interfere with each other. There's no back-to-back game because on the Saturday, the game's at 4 o'clock, and then there's like an hour and 20 till the next one. So there's a bit of a good gap there, which is good to see. But let's get into the Sunday football review. I don't think we'll be here for a long time. Both these games are ordinary. The first game was ordinary. Second game was good for a while, and then it sort of blown out towards the end. All right. Titans 34, Bulldogs 30. What a shit game, honestly. What a shit game this was. This was a horrible game of football, man. Both teams didn't look all that impressive whatsoever. It was the final game of the year for both teams. Both had their eyes set on Mad Monday. Both looking forward to their holiday trip to Bali or to America or to the UK, to Europe. Who the hell knows? This game was really hard to watch, to be honest. I am so glad I didn't live stream it. If I live stream this Titans Bulldogs game, there is a strong chance that I may have fell asleep. So this game was really poor. I did not enjoy this match whatsoever. the Titans did very well to win, considering the Bulldogs just wouldn't go away. Um, Both teams' attack was really ordinary. The Titans one was so obvious. Like they kept hitting Brian Kelly short on the left-hand side. And then they finally learned how to get the ball to Fafita. And then he found Khan Pereira once. And then Foran went through a couple of times. Look, weird game. And for the Bulldogs, Addo Carr, that was the best game Addo Carr has played in ages. Addo Carr had a hat trick. So that was great to see. That was really good to see. Now, the tries, obviously, Kieran Foran scored the first try of the game. He also had a hat trick. Who the hell would have picked that on the odds? Brimson had one try. Cruz Leeming, my man, from the UK Super League, obviously going back to the Super League, going to Wigan. He scored a try, which was good to see in his last game for the Titans. And obviously, Khan Pereira scoring a late one there for the Gold Coast. And for the Dogs, Addo Carr had a hat trick. Curtis Morin got one off a kick, I think, and Blake Wilson. See what I mean? I can't even talk about the game and just start yawning. He got one on full time, but it was too late. He wasn't able to refuse to kick because it was too late. The Gold Coast get a little bit of revenge from earlier this year. The Bulldogs obviously had a great comeback against the Gold Coast earlier this year. I think it was 18-4 at halftime. The Bulldogs came back and won 22-18. So a really good effort for the Bulldogs to come back in that game earlier this year. And the Titans obviously got a bit of revenge from that result. So good on them. I'm not sure what the crowd number was at Cbus, but it would have been pretty low. There was no one there. It looked like a terrible crowd. Absolutely terrible. Probably like 10,000 at absolute best. There was a fair few people sitting in one section behind the post, but I think they were all sitting up in the shade because it looked like a really hot day up on the Gold Coast. Not a great game of footy at all. I didn't go much on it, to be fair. Titans did well to win. Bulldogs had their chances. They came back. They were within a try a couple of times, and then they just couldn't finish it off. So my player of the game from Titans Bulldogs, I think you got to go with Kieran Foran. He had a hat trick, and that was prime Foran today. That was a Manly prime Foran. He had a blinder, man. A hat trick for Foran. God, unbelievable. So Titans finish off the year with a win, with a 34-30 win over the Bulldogs. And to all the Titans fans out there that said they were going to have a good season, you finish in the bottom four. So, yeah, sucked in. I finished bottom four. Anyway, let's get into the other game of Sunday football. Sharks 24, Raiders 6. This was a quality game for a long time. It was very physical. It was back and forth, neck and neck. Both teams didn't take a whole lot of risk in the first half, but it wasn't like a bad game. Like, it wasn't scrappy or anything like that. It was a real hard physical battle. Two really strong forward packs. You had Joseph Tarpany and Emre Gula going up against Hamlin Ueli, and obviously Big Royce Hunt coming off the bench. This was a really good game for probably 60. Yeah, I'd say probably 60 minutes. This was a great game. When Trindle scored that try, when Ralph knocked that ball back and go, and he couldn't hold it, that's when I sort of went, well, that's probably the game. And then Ronaldo went over in the corner, and that was all she wrote. Canberra, for me, ever since I've put Jack White into centre, they just don't look the same. Their attack's not all there. They're really scrappy with the football. Now, for me, next week when the Raiders take on the Knights, Jack Whiten has to move back to 5'8". It's as plain as simple. Jack Whiten must move back to number 6. He can't be playing left center, man. Jack Whiten's not getting any ball. It doesn't look great out there. White needs to be back at 5'8" next week. Nothing against Matt Frawley. Frawley has done a terrific job the last few weeks. He's been pretty good. But you can see that the attack and the combinations for the Raiders just isn't working with Frawley and Fogarty. So I'd be getting Jack White straight back to 5'8" next week. Chris will probably get suspended, so I'd be moving Jared Croker into left centre, and obviously you need to find out who's going to play on the wing because Rapana will be at fullback. I'd be bringing in Hopewade if he's fit to go. Get Hopewade or get James Schiller, one of the young fellas, onto the wing because Canberra, for mine, they definitely need Jack White at 5'8", and I think Croker will come in. That'll be a no-brainer for sure. So there's no way in the world Chris will get off. Like the tackle he did on Katoa. For me, look, I've had a few more looks at it now since I ended the live stream before, and it's definitely not an intentional spear tackle, but the problem is he done it. So accident or not, he's going to get a few weeks. I'm going to say, prediction-wise, I'm going to say Sebastian Kris probably gets a 4-week suspension. That's my early call. If Chris gets more than 4 weeks, I'll be a little bit surprised by that. I really will be surprised. So we'll see what happens with Chris. Obviously, he'll be charged probably tomorrow morning by the match review committee. So I'm going to say 4 weeks as an early pick. Now, obviously, the tries in this game, you got Ramian who scored the first. Ramian got one. Jack Williams got one. Braden Trindle got one. Ronaldo and Katoa as well. And for the Raiders, just the one try to Jordan Rapana, which was obviously the first try of the contest there in the 4th minute. Canberra did really well for, obviously they started the game really well. First 20 minutes, thought Canberra were on top. And then obviously after that, it was back and forth for a while. And then obviously when Chris got sent off, that was the turning point. It was only 10-6 Cronulla. And then obviously it makes it very hard to win when you're up against, when it's 13-12 and you're the team with 12 men, it's very hard to win. It's just tough. So big loss. Sebastian Kris is a big loss. But like I said, I think Croker will come in next week. He'll go to the centers. Hopewade will probably go to the wing, I'm assuming. Whiten's got to go back to number 6, man. It's simple as that. It's a simple today, so he's good to go. Croker was left out of the team in general, so we'll see what the Raiders do with their team next week. Chris won't be there. Look, for the Sharks, I thought the Sharks played a really good brand of footy. First half, they didn't do anything spectacular. They just sort of got through some sets and they completed at a high level. But I guess the send-off is what sort of got the Sharks really going. 13-12 advantage. They scored 3 tries in that period. 3 tries in 11 minutes. And by then, the game's over. So, good win for the Sharks. Obviously, they will take on the Roosters next Saturday night in Cronulla in the elimination final. If you ask me, Sharks versus Roosters, that should be at Accor Stadium. I'm just not comfortable with 2 Sydney teams playing an elimination final in Cronulla that can only get 13,000. I understand the Sharks have had the right to host the final, and that's fantastic. Good for them. But come on, man. There are 2 Sydney teams in New South Wales. It's an elimination final. You want to get as many fans as you can to the game. You got to try and have a fair, decent crowd. 13,000 just isn't good enough for me. Now, you can't go to Allianz because that's not fair. The Roosters will get the home ground advantage then, so that's bullshit. Don't go to Allianz. Go to Accor Stadium. Sharks Roosters should be at Accor Stadium. I guarantee you, if Sharks Roosters was at Accor Stadium, you're going to get 20 to 30,000 fans. You're going to get a good crowd. You're going to get a reasonable crowd for an elimination final. And it's Saturday nights. It's a good time zone as well, good time slot. So I'll give you my opinion on the finals fixture in a little while, but I would have had Newcastle play on the Saturday and Penrith on the Saturday, and I would have had Cronulla Roosters on the Sunday. That's just me. It's what I would have done, but I'm not the fucking NRL fixture man, even though it is fun to talk about it. But Sharks too good for the Raiders in this game. My player of the game, look, there's a few of them that stood out for the Sharks, but for me, I thought Jesse Ramian was outstanding. So I'm going to give Jesse Ramian the player of the game and the Sharks 24-6 win over the Canberra Raiders. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up the Sunday football review. If you guys enjoyed tonight's review, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the stream, and thank you very much for tuning in once again. I will see you guys tomorrow for the NRL Finals Week 1 preview. Tomorrow, Finals Week 1 preview. It's going to be massive. I'll have a couple of people on the channel for it. It's going to be a big event. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. You'll know who I'm picking for the finals in Week 1. Take care, everyone. And see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.